Hey all you dudes and dudettes out there, this is Val with another Dungeon Hunter Champions video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Zircon and Amethyst, the Water and Dark Crystal Priest. Now, let's get this show started. As always, let's start with skills. And wow, we got, why are we reviewing this guy? Well, let's talk about that. He only got 3 skills. What's he bringing to the table? We're going to find out. We're going to find out. Skill 1, which is his auto attack skill, Crystal Shard. Throws a crystal shard, damaging an enemy from a distance. Has a chance to shatter on impact, dealing a portion of that damage to enemies near the target. His active skill 1, Wave of Harmony. Projects a beam of light that bounces between allies, healing them. Hits self, then targets ally and up to 2 additional allies. Healing is based on target's max HP. Lastly, Bolster. Creates a field of prismatic light that applies the regeneration buff and immunity to buff nearby allies. Now we're going to talk about something you're seeing for the first time here, and I'm a little, I wouldn't say tilted, but it's a little sad that it's not available in the DPS characters. That's going to be this little details button here. If you click on this, this gives you exactly how much damage is done to the primary target, and then with the 35% chance to hit someone else, it tells you how much damage that actually does. So you can see it does half of the initial damage. Now this information is so critical that we have the actual specific numbers. You take a look at a DPS unit, like let's go take a look at Alia, and all we know is that she does damage, and then every 4th attack she does triple damage. We don't know what those numbers are. It is slightly frustrating to me that we can get this kind of detailed information to see how our builds are affected by changes here, but we can't get it in an actual DPS unit, and we don't even get it for one. We get it for all the skills. We get exact numbers. This is something I think that desperately needs to be applied to all characters in your box, so that way you can get a better idea on how the gear is affecting them and see the numbers change in real time without having to equip them, go into a fight, then come back and see what your testing shows. It's just a little frustrating. It's available on a unit I don't even care, I didn't even know did damage. Well, of course I know he did damage, but the point is it's not significant enough for you to build around, yet you have the most detailed information about it. Now that little rant aside, let's actually start talking about what this little guy does and why you bring him. Now before, I'll be honest with you, his AI was dumb. He wouldn't use this enough, so you wouldn't get your immunity, and it just really wasn't worth using him in a slot in the very early days. Now his AI has been fixed. He will use this so you can get your immunity more often. He is definitely worth a slot now for beginners specifically. Now he's really going to shine because his healing is not based on his HP, but the target's HP. This is perfect for beginners because as a beginner, you want to farm Elder Drake until you have vital gear for everyone. You want to build everyone tanky so that you can live through all the hits you're going to be experiencing as you progress deeper into Elder Drake, and also as you begin to progress within Steel Widow. Everyone should have high amounts of HP, which is going to make him really shine. In addition, in both Elder Drake and Steel Widow, in Elder Drake, you have a stun that the Dragon Boss can apply to you when he roars. Immunity will help you avoid that. In SW, periodically, there is OGD that is placed on you. This will also help you avoid that. While it won't cleanse it, it will prevent it from happening at all. This is what makes him a key unit to have for any starter team. Now we'll take a look at my gear, or the gear. Now I'm not really happy with my build. This is really leftover gear from everyone else because as I have progressed in the game, I've continually stripped him, put his gear on other people, so he really has what's left over. The only stats you care about are defense, HP, and resistance. His only reason is to heal, heal, heal. You don't care about damage, you don't care about crit, you don't care about accuracy. You just need defense, HP, and then resistance. He just needs to live. You don't want him to get stunned. You don't want him to get DPS down. You don't want him to get burst. You just want to live. That is it. So in mine, I went Adept, Sturdy. I also went Defense, HP. HP, you can see I still have some work. I still got some +9 gear here. So like I said, he does have leftover gear, and I'm not entirely happy with his stats. Here are those. He has just a little shy, a little over 35k HP. He has about 876 defense, or excuse me, about 800 defense. He has crit rate, we don't care. Resistance, he has 87% resistance, and everything else on this entire page, it doesn't matter! Zero, it matters nada. Just HP, defense, resistance. Now, ideally, you want to see him over 40k HP. You want to see him at about, I'd say, 800 defense, and then resistance is whatever you can muster. Do not sacrifice your bracelet HP slot for resistance. Just pick up whatever resistance you can on your substats on your gear. So substats on gear should be pretty obvious. Defense, HP percent, HP flat, and then resistance is really what you're looking for subs on this guy. But that's his build. Let's take him into Elder Drake so you can see how he performs. All right, let's go ahead and skip this. We will target Amethyst and we'll hit auto. Now he has immune. You can see we have quite a few buffs. That's because we've got Wonga and we've got Amethyst here. They're going to buff like crazy. You can see he is keeping that immunity up. This is an excellent, excellent team after the fix for Elder Drake. If you have Rhoda, your runs can be even quicker, because she will have elemental advantage, and she does almost just about as much, if not more damage than Zircon here. Now, of course, I don't have a Rhoda, but I have seen some posts from people in the Discord where Rhoda pulls about 750k here. My Sig run so far, the highest I've seen is 710k. But you got to consider Rhoda does have elemental advantage due to her nature. Her nature element. And also by nature she does a lot of damage. Not as much as in the beginning, but she does a lot. You can see our buffs are pretty much up constantly. No one's in danger of getting low, and this is 100% farmable team, with the exception of Rhoda, of course, and Monis, but they can absolutely drop from common. So you don't have to pay to win. You can be free to play and obtain these pretty early, depending on how RNG feels about you. Zircon is just, excuse me, Amethyst is just working his tail off. He's got heals going everywhere. He's keeping that immunity up to make sure that you do not get stunned. Now you have Zinnia, who's also doing some healing, and she's stripping that buff, which can make or break an early run. That attack buff plus this roar can be damaging. Now we had immunity up, so we didn't get stunned. All of this is good. And we had a little over a standard run. Pretty much the gold standard for Elder Drake is going to be anything under 2 minutes. Here are the numbers. You can see actually my Sig run is 854k. So that's currently the highest one I've seen with her. But look at Zircon's heals. He had 7 minutes uptime on both his regeneration and on this. No one was ever in any danger with this guy. Zinnia could be completely absent. You can put in another DPS unit here, and it will perform excellent, just excellent. Zircon really, I know this is a Amethyst video, but Zircon is really pulling her weight there. Like, she really was the only DPS here, and she performed her job just smashingly. All right, now let's take a look with him in Steel Widow. Now, the Steel Widow is going to be a little bit harder for us to compose, really a starter team. Because if we put in Snake Lady, I mean, RNG might not have been good for you. Even if you do have a Rhoda, do you want to bring a Rhoda to a Steel Widow fight? So how do we simulate a good starter team that you could actually go into Steel Widow with? So what we're going to do to simulate that is we're going to create kind of a slower team. What we're going to do, even though I haven't fully finished my Mercenary, we're going to bring in the Water Mercenary, who now has a new buff, and we'll see how she does here. This fight is going to go long because I really haven't built her, and Monis is going to be our only DPS. But really we want to see what Amethyst can do in terms of keeping this team alive and progressing through the mini lasers I'm assuming he's going to get off. So let's give it a shot. Alright, so here we are. Now, even though this team is going to be slow, it's very important to me that I build realistic teams that you can go into these as a free-to-play player. Obviously, I could have put Zevron in here and just made things a lot easier, but not everyone's going to have a Zevron. I could have put Snake Lady in here, but not everyone's going to have a Snake Lady. However, the Water Mercenary can drop out a common disc. She's very, very common. If I had a second Monis built, that would have also been an option here. But this team is 100% obtainable with the exception of Wonga and Amethyst. But in your guys' cases, you would be running Mojo and Zircon and get the exact same results that you are seeing here. Now, this team will be successful. It is just going to be slow. My Monis is built DPS, but Monis is a hybrid unit. So even at max DPS, he's not going to do as much damage as a purely built DPS unit, but he is serviceable here. Now, you do have to have Zinnia for the strips or some other unit. Currently, as of this video at 8/13/2018, the strip from the Espers is still broken, so currently they are not an option for here. However, Gameloft informed us today that both the Dragon Guard, Esper, and other various fixes will be available on Wednesday when they finally release the cooperation dungeon. As you can see, so far so good. Monis is really pulling his weight on this. No one got rooted due to the spit because we had immunity up. You can also see that no one has the OGD damage, and this team is 100% so far safe. No one's taken really any critical hits, and Monis and Zinnia are doing their darndest to keep that buff stripped and removed. While not the fastest team, this is 100% reliable so far on our one run, which is an awesome sample size. But hopefully you guys get there's the lasers. We knew that was going to happen because it is a slower team. But even if they hadn't killed it there, they would have lived because the regeneration buff was up and Zinnia's heal was up. As you can see again, Amethyst is still pulling his weight. He is the one getting the job done, making sure people are healing. Monis was the star for DPS in this case, but again, really in this one, you're looking at how much healing that Zircon was actually putting out, in addition to making sure no one got OGD damage, which would really be a problem for a starter team. All in all, I have to say I highly recommend Zircon and Amethyst over the old days when their AI was just dumb as nails. Now they are greatly improved. They're out-healing Zinnia by far. Really, Zinnia has been reduced with all the changes in the game to a stripper and a cooldown reducer. Both are very important things, but Gameloft has started adding units to where skills do not benefit from other skills with cooldown reduction, but they still do benefit from synergy skills that have cooldown reduction and from adept. So Zinnia is going to lose more and more of the spotlight as they do create a bigger emphasis on skills that aren't affected by other skill cooldowns, and she will just be relegated to a stripper. Right now, that is her biggest draw, but with units like Esper and other units that can strip, she will start to fall off more and more. However, she is still the go-to unit for starters. That will probably never change because she's free and highly farmable. You actually need two nowadays, one to use and then one to sacrifice for your light AA. I give Amethyst and Zircon a big thumbs up. They are really at this point 9 out of 10 units. They would be 10 out of 10, but I have to be honest, I am a little bugged that I can get really great DPS information from them, but I can't get good DPS information from my DPS. While not Zircon and Amethyst's fault, you know, you kind of take it out on the ones you love the most. Anyway, that's going to do it for this video. Hey, if you found it helpful, if you liked it, if it made you laugh, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe button down below. And as always, all you dudes and dudettes, stay frosty.